Thank Thank you, Paul Benjamin, for leading us in the candle lighting and floral tribute. Now we will have 1 minute silence for our departed brothers. So I request all the congregation to stand and participate in 1 minute silence.
Thank you all. I request everyone to please stand on your feet again. And let us all sing hymn that is near my God today.
I request everyone to be seated. And now we'll have a time of prayer, and I'll request Pastor Dr. Haisui Daime, Pastor Jemai Church Delhi, to come and lead us in prayer.
Hello. I shall pray in the Langhong dialect. So, as we all close our eyes and look to God, I shall pray out aloud for all of us. Let's all look to God in prayer. Almighty God, loving Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day that we could gather. But Lord, with the grief in our heart, we gather here this very moment. Tingwang, getalin hangge kansang bang jagai sibrape. Anui jeleng rong me, anui kansen me, anui keme me, anui nang sogat sang lak lui lak sebam ta dilu sedu. tingwang nang ki be zigana anu jong kyu kain so kai zbam le namai ke dere long baga miram manan zum nawang za anu miram kang kyu za miram me bagana sai bui mak pen siga sai za anu ka har be le za namai anu mi siga za tingwang nang soga anu sung anu long ka har be anu long ka hap pa tingwang nang da anu po wa za la le anu jong dai ti ga miram kang ga long ro me anu jong miram manan dai ti ga ngau na za anu long bam ro me tingwang ani harang ti dale mira makang bam ti dale ani lung sulak ti ba ting ti dale na mai nang ani zu ni rai mak sa ni ma phi za bam ra me tingwang ani lung ka hap nang soga pungoi za la muile na mai gine za ai gum za ka sia ba mi ki hing ba mi tuang ga ba mi si ka ga ba ta to ai za ani zleng ro ma ro ga pe ma to gu pe dai ti salo na mai pat ti ba ani sikina ma ni ko hom dei kang pani kring ba ga di ba hang sikana zo ani ki ke thule tingwang nang na pani reason no suga di ba pe sang lo pani kring ba ga di ba sikana no mai ani zat ma ma ki ba di ba sikat lung kat san posus bam ra chirul ba san no bai gina na sa ani zat ma sikat lung kat sa mram zang gi za ani nang zigana ki ti za ma re ki ba ti bam ra ani ramai za nang na pe ba ani si za lung bam ra tingwang nang na teng tip ka za ni za te su ga di ba pe sang alo ani lung ka pa na nang su kam po le ani lung ka da si na tingwang nang da ka ke te za la mi le na mai ga da ni za azat ma za lang rong ba mi la ma kang bam za ani hero dai ma khule krista zi ga na hero ngam za krista zi ga na nang pe ba ram ga ani si te za long hule tingwang nang ani zun ri pa ka za lao ani za nang na ngo ha gwang te wa za lao ani gua gwang ka dai ani long azat ma za lang rong ba azat lai na to tingwang nang da ka pe kam ga long hule na mai tat ti ba panui takyo di ba puya za ani mi do ka sia ba na takyo dai ma ro ka ga na nang si ga na ani hare ngam no ba zat sang
Prima facie, some notes being recovered from the sport. Some people have even written that we Sumi brothers will fight till the last drop, something like that. Now, why I'm questioning this one is, I've been receiving some calls from Sumi brothers. I have very good friends among the Sumi brothers. And I myself, my wife is a Sumi. You know, I am married to a Sumi lady. Now they have been calling me up that we're so ashamed because of these people. We're so ashamed because of these people. We don't know what to say. And we don't know how to start any conversation when we meet you again. I've been receiving calls. You know, let's be very clear about this. And we say that this incident, inter-village conflict, should not spiral into tribal fights. We say this. It is easy to say this. Yes, it should not become Sumi versus Liangrong. No, it should not. But I question then is, if it should, if at all we think it should not spiral into tribal fight, then those people who are using the name of Sumi community while committing this act, then it is the responsibility of Sumi community to question them, to disown them, and ask them, who are you to use the name of Sumi community? It's time for you to question and pull them out. Only then they will learn lesson, if we still remain silent. Because the bad people are getting stronger and stronger, bolder and bolder each day, when the good people like all of us are staying silent, watching the world go by. Like Einstein has said, in 1941-42, he said, the world is not going to be destroyed by the bad people, but by because of the good people who are not doing anything, just watching the world go by. We're letting them commit this kind of crime. Now, the last point is, the Nagas, all of us as a family, today we should be discussing how to go ahead. But when I was questioning like this, and I was discussing with some people from Nagaland and Manipur, Donald Trump talked about building wall between America and China, but I think it is applicable to Nagas. Nagas, who knows, we might start building walls between each tribe, and after that, each village, after that, each clan in the village. No, we Nagas have come to this stage, but I think it is not too late. Maybe in this generation, 3 brothers have died. It is not that we seek revenge, but our patience and our peace-loving nature should not be misunderstood as our weakness. Should not be misunderstood as a weakness. Just because some people came and killed our brothers, it does not mean that we go and kill them back. No, we may not go down to that level, but we want justice. That's why we're waiting for the government of Nagaland, government of India, and our Naga community to, bring justice. Their sacrifice, 3 brothers whose lives are lost, and their families, they're now left like that. So we continue to remember the sacrifice, and I ask all of us, let us remember and take this time to strengthen our bond of unity. At this time, I want to say something in our own language. Ano izaliang rong makoga miramay dinsai chusami ra kumde itin khai me izaliang rong laga. Ejo Thai sriu ba papanai sai ni izaliang rong mai khat su ni de khat tiu ma sai dolake ado tu din. Tui banai wang lam sai ma ki ibe pa dai mai sai chun se dai tu Thai ka khang ta kan ka kai ka khong ta kan nang hai ram mai de thang ro wong mai de thang alung ba mai de na sa ta kan ni zleng rong mai sai ko mai ting mi pa ta khong khon kam ne khai tu tong dai sam ko na mai ko meting mi pa da ra khon ma ke so na he kom palam mi sai ri mi ra wa de len tin zang ni Thai pa khai bi se aliu mai me tiu len lesson lu gai lu za so that this kind of things will not happen to us again, and we will not be a victim forever. We will not be a victim forever. We may stand up. We may have to fight, but not in this kind of barbaric nature, but seeking justice. Seeking justice. Thank you, everyone. Let us remember this day, and let us remember them, and also the families. God bless all of us.
Thank you so much, Brother. Thank you so much for the wonderful speech, Assistant Professor Jeremiah Palme. Now we'll have mass candle lighting. So I request the ushers, volunteers to assist in distributing the candles. And in the meantime, here's a instruction. Everyone, after receiving the candle, from my right side, one of you can come and light your candle from here, from the main candle. And from my left side, the same will be done. And the lightning will be passed on. And everyone will bring your candle and place in this place till the last one gets done. So I request everyone to find a candle, light up, and proceed. The volunteers may even start distributing from this side as well, from my left. Right. Yes, whoever has got the candle might please come forward. I think we need a lighter here in the front. Lighter. Yeah, volunteers, lighter. Just light up the main. Please pass on the lights. You can light up your candle. Okay, whoever's got your candle lighting can come and start placing their candle. Yeah, you can. Yes. Okay, since we could not collect the candles here, we would request everyone to hold up, raise up your candles wherever they are, wherever you are, and you can even light up your flashlight from your mobile phone just for the pictures.
Thank you all. Everyone can be seated. So now, moving on to the next program, we have one more speech again. That is from organizing committee, Mr. Maithupong Gongmai, social worker. Sir, I request you to please come and take your time.
At the very outset, I, on behalf of the organizing committee, the entire Zilong people living in Delhi and elsewhere, and well-wishers, pay our deepest respect and honor to the departed souls who dare to sacrifice their lives, even to the point of death. May your soul be a shining example. May your death, sacrifices, be an awakening call to the Zeleong people and the Nagas in general to rise up against inimical forces prevailing in our land. May your sacrifice be a wake-up call to our people to see that all of us rise up to fight against criminals of various kind and hue, to rise up against any anti-social elements who are trying to bring disharmony, hatred amongst the people. Today, on this occasion of Candle Vigil program at Nagaland House, New Delhi here, we have come to pay our deepest respect, at the same time to condemn this heinous crime that had taken place on 22nd March 2022 at Lamhai Namdi village, Perin, Nagaland. My dear friends, this is not the first of its kind. This kind of similar incident had happened in the past. To put you on record, I'll just take you back to 1975, wherein 3 people were killed. 1986, 1 more person got killed. In the year 2008, 6 lives were killed. And the latest one, 2021, we have these 3 precious souls taken away. The unfortunate incident that happened in 2000, let me tell you, there are still some living people who are carrying bullets, numbering 70 plus bullets. Some of them are still carrying in their bodies because no operation could be operated. Doctor advised that if operation is done now, the man is in danger of dying. So therefore, one old man is still carrying bullets. And one of his sons is sitting here amongst us. By highlighting all these, I'm not trying to flare up communal favor there in this particular area. If you look back to history, we have records here since pre-independence, how some of our Naga brothers from different parts of the state, that time there was no Nagaland state though, had been given the hospitality by our forefathers to settle down there, to live there under certain conditions, under certain terms and conditions. But in the course of time, things took a different turn. And off and on, this kind of ugly incidents, wherein many of these precious lives, which I just mentioned, the death here, had happened in our very own land, the Perin district, which the Zeleong people call this district their very own. And you also remember our immediate neighbor, the Angami community, had also issued a press statement, as well as they have submitted official petition to the government of Nagaland to the commissioner, stating that between the Angamis and the Zeleong, there was no other community living in between. Now let me take on record, let me put on record the Naga villages. The Naga traditional villages that we have is different though in Dimapur, Kohima, and the towns coming up now. But all the Naga villages, traditional Naga villages, are well demarcated since time immemorial, well guarded. No one can dare to even step in and do what they want in other villages' territory. Not to speak of the communities or the tribes. Among the tribes themselves too, each of these villages have a well-defined, well-demarcated boundaries, wherein we cannot step in, wherein we cannot overstay, or wherein we cannot do what we want, unless we get the permission of the village concerned, big or small alike. This is how we maintain our Naga tradition. But of late, many unfortunate things have been happening under our own nose. And many good citizens tend to keep silent. And that is why these criminals have been emboldened from time to time to take precious lives, the God-gifted life. And today, we are organizing this candle vigil to showcase, to drive home the point to the Naga people in particular and other right-thinking people across the country and the globe to stand up against this kind of heinous crime, to condemn in unequivocal voice, to say that this is wrong. By saying this, I do not mean the least to flare up communal tension, communal flavor to this ugly incident. We are very happy to see that Western Sumi President, the respected Dr. Kekito, resigned on moral ground to denounce this unfortunate incident that had taken place. We expect similar actions from right-thinking Naga organizations and civil bodies and individuals alike to come out like him. That way, anti-social elements from any community, from any tribe, can be weeded out. Through this platform, we also earnestly appeal to all the Naga political groups, irrespective of whatever name they hold, they all are there in the name of Naga National Cause. Why I'm saying the Naga political group? Because on this fateful day, people who are well armed with automatic weapons, numbering 40, 50, came and took on the lives of these brothers. That tells a very, very big picture of the situation there. You cannot expect the ordinary village folk to be equipped with those weapons. When automatic weapons, armed men with 40, 50 people are coming around to take the lives of these people, that only shows that there are some elements, or perhaps even some well-established organizations must be backing them. That is why we are appealing time and again to the Naga political groups to rein in this kind of anti-social elements within the group or outside, or within the tribe or outside. This is very, very clear. We are also given to understand that on 31st of March, that is tomorrow, they are going to organize a very big candle vigil at Kohima. The Angami organization, youth organization, APO and others will be the joint host of the Zillion Students Union Kohima. That is wonderful. We expect all Naga brothers to join hands to fight against this kind of crimes, injustice, so that we will be able to overcome the kind of situation they are in. We all know that peace talk is going on. Ceasefire is on for how many years now? 24 years down the line. Until today, we have not been able to come into honorable solution. Perhaps one reason could be this, that we are not united. Perhaps one reason could be this, that we are still having that, tribalism. Or in other words, we are still trying to pull down each other, maybe through inter-village conflict, tribal conflict, or the likes. And therefore, other people, when I say other people, it could mean the government media as well, are taking advantage of our situation and they are looking at us. Come on. We need not take them seriously. When we are united, big or small alike, when we are united as a community, as a Naga people, I'm sure the government of the day here will also be serious in bringing about honorable solution to the long protected Naga issue as well. And therefore, it is equally important for all the Naga political groups to introspect today, to see that this kind of incidents, this kind of anti-social elements do not have the upper hand in all Naga inhabited areas. Through this event, we also want to appeal the media fraternity and all human rights activists across the country to join us in fighting against this kind of injustice and crime. Through this event, the Zilong Students Union Delhi, the Zilong Welfare Association, we want to drive home the point to the government of India by organizing this event here in Delhi itself. We appeal to the Prime Minister of India, the Home Minister of India, to ensure that under the guise of peace talks and ceasefire, this kind of issues, this kind of conflict, this kind of killing will not take place again in future. And therefore, we strongly demand that the government of Nagaland should recommend for NIA probe so that the culprits are put at the earliest time possible and justice is brought. Why we saying this? Because it is not an ordinary fight between the villagers. Well-equipped automatic weapons were used. In other words, this is a pure act of terrorism. Therefore, we appeal to the government of India through this platform, the government of Nagaland, to ensure that the NIA probe is carried out and the culprits are booked and they are given befitting punishment so that in future this kind of incidents will not happen again. Through this platform, I also want to express our thanks and gratefulness to all the Naga civil organizations, starting from Hoho, the NSA, to the rest of the tribes who has expressed their solidarity to the Zilong people during this time of grief and pain. We also want to express our solidarity with the bereaved family members. Yes, they, our brothers here, the fallen heroes, they also have their families, parents, loved ones, their brothers and sisters, wives. They are gone. We are gathering here to show our love and respect and homage to them. They don't know that we are gathering here. This event, by the way, let's not forget, is being organized for you and me, for the living and not for the dead anymore. They are not here to hear our speeches. They are not here anymore to hear what we are talking here. Whatever we are doing is for you and me, for the living. Is for you and me, for the living. And that is why each one of us who are here, and each one of us who have come here, have got equal responsibility to see that justice is brought about. And that each one of us must play our own roles to see that this thing do not happen again. So that we will not have to gather like this again to remember this kind of heinous crime taking place in our land. Tonight, even as we gather here, I want to again appeal to the authorities concerned not to do delay tactics, thinking that people's memories are short-lived and they will forget with the passage of time. Our people this time will not rest until justice is done. Many a time, our hospitality, our respect for others have been construed as weakness. Henceforth, we will also reconsider to see that this kind of hospitality, love and respect for others are not taken for granted. By saying this, I do not mean to throw any threat to any community, any individuals or any group. As our former speaker had mentioned, there are so many right-thinking people across the tribes, across the communities, across the organizations. Come out and let us identify these culprits. Let us condemn them. Let's bring them to book so that this kind of people will not bring bad name to the Naga communities or maybe to the respective tribes in our Naga territories. I'm sure all of you who are here the Zillingrong and non-Zillingrong samurai and other friends who are concerned about human rights will join hands to ensure that speedy justice is done, and that more so, particularly there in Heartland, all respected communities will ensure that these kind of elements are set from within, so that these kind of ugly situations will not happen again in future. So even as we continue the rest of the program, let's remember that by coming here, this is not the end. This is a fight to the end, the fight to the finish. All of us will be called upon in one way or the other again to see that we continue to fight until justice is met. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Srimati Ponggolai, for the powerful message. And today, as we move to the next speech, we would have Mr. Hinatopi Aomi, President, Naga Students Union, Delhi. So I'd request President to come and give your speech.
I really want to thank you all for coming. My utmost respect to my seniors, my elders, leaders of different organizations, president of every tribal unit, my colleagues, my friends, and my dear Naga brothers and sisters. As the president of Naga Students Union Delhi, I take this honor to stand before you all. My name is Hinatopi Aomi, and I belong to Sumi community. But I have been voted by the Nagas here in Delhi to represent the Nagas and not any particular tribe. So I stand here on behalf of the Nagas, and I will be speaking as a president of Naga Students in Delhi. I'm sure my Sumi president must be here. I haven't given him a call also. He haven't given me any call, and we haven't discussed regarding this incident. And I am speaking here with my own wisdom and the things that I understood. And even though I'm a sinner, I have prayed to God to give me the wisdom to speak in front of all the people. And I know my president. He is honest, intellectual, young, and a very wise young man. So I'm sure he's also here. And me being the president of Naga Students Delhi, taking this opportunity, and I take this honor to speak in front of all of you. My dear brothers and sisters, we all have a dream. And that dream is to live peacefully. A dream to make a place peaceful. We all have a dream to live together. But most of us, we fail to uphold the spirit of oneness among us because of our selfish motives and greediness. It seems too old. Often we think about ourselves and our community and discount others. My dear brother and sister, I do not mean that we should not be proud of who we are or be proud of our community, but we should think about the humanity as a whole, as a Naga, and not only for our community. Because humanity comes first. Humanity above all religion, caste, color, and creed. Humanity should come first. And we can no longer wait for our faith to save humanity, and we must take action. Yes, we must take action. I know there's a lot of things going on social media, where a lot of social media, Facebook, where warriors are creating a lot of problem, adding salt to the wounds of our brothers and sisters. But we are intellectual enough to understand the issues, and the kind of society we are living in. My dear brothers and sisters, there is no place in a society, in a civilized society, for such kind of people who commit such heinous crime. It's a murder. And for those people who are creating such kind of problem, committing crimes, let us not take this into tribal issues. Because for those people who commit such crime, they have no tribe. They have no clan. They have no religion. We should all come together and condemn such a. We must establish a just society and a rule of law for everyone else, and not for any vested interest individual or any other organization. My brothers and sisters, let us be very cautious. While we are fighting among ourselves, I think we are forgetting the biggest enemy. It's not about Zilarong, it's not about Sumi. This is a murder, and punishment should be followed as per the law. All the Nagas should condemn such kind of act. We condemn such kind of act. And, my dear brother and sister, in this situation, we, not only the Nagas, but especially the Sumis, should come forward to support the Zilarong brothers and sisters, to fight for the justice, to give justice to our Sri-led brothers. And the other tribe should also come forward, support, encourage, and bring unity among the other tribes of Nagas, or maybe between the Sumi and Zilarong in hard time like this. I tell you, I'm telling you, there is no such place for a people like who commit this kind of society. I mean crimes. Who said Zilarong had Sumis? Who said Sumis had Zilarong? This isn't about Zilarong. Okay, it is about a land dispute. Okay, it's a land dispute, which the government have failed to settle the dispute border between Peren and Dimapur. And let us not make fool of ourselves. Dimapur do not belong to Sumis. It belongs to all the Nagas. All the Nagas are living in Dimapur. Dimapur do not belong to Sumis. And whoever it is who created such heinous crime in the name of land dispute, we should all come together. And a capital punishment should be given to them. My dear brother and sister, I hope the government, the authority has a will to arrest the culprit and give them a harsh punishment. The capital punishment should be given to them. It's not about revenge, like our seniors and elders from the Zilarong community have said. It's not about revenge, but justice needs to be given. But dear brother and sister, let us remember one thing. The soul, the spirit of our three red brothers are watching us. Are we really seeking for justice? Or are we seeking for some other use? Or are we allowing someone, some vested interest, individuals to take advantage of the situation? Let us all come together and condemn such act. Let us all come together and give justice to our late brothers and sisters. In this kind of societies, this is no more a headhunting. That stage is gone. We are a civilized society. And even before I become the president of Naga Students Union Delhi, forget about Zilarong and Sumis, I have carried out the slogan. And the slogan, as a Naga, there is no such Eastern Naga, there is no such Tinimi Naga, there is no such Central Naga, Southern Naga, Western Naga. There is only one Naga, my brother and sister, and we need to live together. And we, especially the youth, the young generation, let us live together and condemn such kind of act. I'm sure by now, a special investigation team is set up. And I want them to investigate thoroughly. I want them to interrogate every person who is responsible for this and take action against those, be it government officers, leaders of different organizations, individual, or maybe if there's anyone, individual or organization behind it. I want them to take action against it. The Naga Students convert our heartfelt condolence and we stay in solidarity with the family and relatives of the deceased. Thank you.
Thank you, President of Naga Students Union Delhi, for your powerful and supportive message. Now, next we have one more solidarity speeches from Mr. Masotmi Kashong, President of Tangkul Ketamnao Long Delhi. President, if you are present, please come and take your time.
Good evening. I, the President of the Tangkul Students Union Delhi, and also on behalf of the entire Tangkul community here in Delhi, strongly condemn the brutal killing of 3 innocent lives alleged by an armed group on 22nd March at Lamhai Namdi village of Peren district in Nagaland. It is beyond belief that such atrocities can be committed to our people by our very own people when we are supposed to be looking out for each other. It is beyond our belief that the very guns for the protection of our lives and for safeguarding the rights of the people and land is being used upon the innocent life whom they have stood for them during their hardships. Such brutality and savageness has no room in our society. There is no justification for such inhuman act that they have committed. Brothers and sisters, for too long we have been divided, shattered. For too long we have shed tears because of the misuse of power and greed. Today I want to ask each and every one of us here today, how long are we going to endure this? Today we stand here together with the family of late Mr. Piram Hialongbo, late Mr. Sikam Wangbo, and late Mr. Iting Wangbe Haikam, and our Zeleng brothers and sisters, to show that we are not alone in this fight. We are with you. The Nagas are with you. We also appeal to all the right thinkers who believe in humanity, that irrespective of organization, to come forward and give a helping hand to bring justice to the fallen brothers. We also request the concerned authorities to look into this matter at the earliest to bring about a settlement of peace and justice to not only to the fallen brothers but to our Zelerong community. Tangkul Student Union Delhi would also like to express our sincere condolences to the bereaved family and to the Zelerong community. May justice prevail. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Kasun, for the encouraging and powerful speech. Coming to the next, we have another solidarity speech from Major Moses, retired, and he is also working in the Bajaj company as the regional director. So I'll give time for.
Hello, check. Good evening, everyone. Especially good evening, elders, brothers and sisters. Today evening, I, on behalf of Legmai Ruangdi, Delhi NCR, I stand in front of you all. Every member of the Legmai community from Delhi, we do express our deepest condolences, and we do express our regrets for what that has happened at Lamhai Namdi. Yes, we have heard from our elders, and especially from the President, Naga Student Union, and few things which we have heard. It's very heartening to know about that. Well, what would I have to add today evening? I just want to add something about humanity. Today, most of us who are gathered here today, we are the younger generation lot. We call it as the millennial generations. So, look at the picture that we see in front of us. Late Mr. Sikam Wangbo, late Mr. Tingwang Be Haikam, and late Mr. Paramhyang Lungbo. He's our brother. Sikam Wangbo, a brother like you, like many of our youngsters here, looking out for a bright future. His life was cut short, And of course, our next brother, he could have been married with with son, daughters, and with a wife. Just imagine tonight, just keep your hands in your heart and understand what could that family be been undergoing right now. The breadwinner of the family, or the son which the parents are looking up to, that one day this son would become an officer, or someone who will earn and support the family. We just can't imagine that. It's so easy to just hear stories, but then you just look at yourself, feel that he is your brother, then we will be able to understand this. So from the inputs that we have received, it's not imaginable that we as Nagas, yes, of course, we had heard stories about headhuntings and all, but then we as Nagas calling ourselves as Nagaland for Christ, and we Nagas, we consider ourselves that we are educated with that Christianity coming in, with the education that we all have. We consider ourselves as a civilized society. It's very sad. I just can't even imagine that some of our brothers could have committed this kind of act. Let's call this as a cold-blooded murder. It is a cold-blooded murder. And we all know that it was pre-planned. Automatics were used there. Even in wars, I also served in Assam Rifles in Manipur and Nagaland. We did so much of counterinsurgency operations. We fire someone when someone is firing against us. But the incident that has happened, an unarmed person, a farmer who was trying to just expand his, who was trying to just earn something, settle down there, trying to earn a livelihood. Someone with 30, 40 people coming there and using automatics and just, I'll not go into detail how brutally they were murdered. It's a very simple thing. Today, the younger generation, especially tonight here, I would like you all to retrospect. I know there'll be around many tribes. We have our leaders here. We need to look at ourselves. We call ourselves as Nagaland for Christ. We consider as we are educated people. I know the kind of dresses that we wear, the kind of how we carry ourselves. At times we feel that we are more better than those Biharis or some local people, migrants roaming around. But I think we are worse than barbarians. When our brothers, some of them behave like this, we are worse than barbarians here. How do we call you dressing up nicely like this? Today I've dressed up myself like this. No. I'm speaking English. No, that's not it. That's not that. So let's look at ourselves. And what I would like to add is that no matter what the circumstances, it could be a land dispute, it could be anything, but then do you have the right to take the law into your hands? Who gave you that right? Who gave you? Who gave you the right to chop someone's hands or fire those automatics against someone? You are God? No. You created these three brothers there. It's a shame. It's a shame for us. That's why our talks has been going on and on and on, and it will go on, and it will just fizzle out. I've been on the other side. I was with the Indian Army. I've served there. I've seen all those groups. I know I'm being very upfront, but then I'm just sharing my experience. You don't have the right to take lives. We live in a land where there is a constitution. We have our customary laws. There's a customary law saying you can go and chop off someone's hand or someone's neck. It's not like that. So there is no justification. There is no excuses for this, for what that thing has happened. And there never will be. Yes, today when we are gathered here like this, it's a sign of hope. And when I see the media and then those things that are happening in our places, yes, we are very sad. It's so unfortunate. But then when we are gathered like this today evening here itself, even in Delhi NCR, and of course there are gatherings in our places also. It's just because of this that there is a ray of hope. I feel that we can still think over, look at ourselves, understand what wrong things we have done. It is just because of this hope that today I sincerely appeal to the government of Nagaland. Yes, there are processes involved, there will be investigation undertaken, but then it should have a logical conclusion to that. The persons who has perpetrated this should be booked. They should be given the punishment as per the rule of the law of the land, so that we learn our lessons. It's not about revenge, but then people know that in this civilized society that we live, there is no space for this kind of barbarism anymore. We Nagas are Nagaland for Christ. We are educated people. We would also like to advance like the other society, like the other community. And not only that, today, the old civil society organization, it's nice to know that they have been standing up, raising their voices. That's the hope. That's the only hope that we look forward to. And today, I see that most of the majority of our youngsters here who are studying or who are working. Now, the positive thing about these present times that we live in is the strength of the media, the kind of connectivity that we have. Tonight, I appeal to each and every one of you who are gathered here today. Please stand up, give your comments, the simplest of the simplest comments, that you are against this cold-blooded murder. We are people who are civilized, and we will not accept this, and we will not do it like that. Not Jalangru people will do, not Tashema will do, not Angami will do. Nobody will do like that. Please, give your comments wherever you are in the social platform. Call up your society leaders back at home. Tell them this is wrong. Because, like we talk about indifference, tonight it is something like what I want to say. I know it is harsh, but then if you're not there, you are with the other side. You can't keep silent. Being busy with this cosmopolitan life, far away from home, you can't be indifferent. If you're not standing for our brothers tonight, that means you support the other brothers who have committed this. I'm telling you again, if you look into your heart, today if I don't support these brothers, because now we accept, everyone accepts that this is cold-blooded murder, this is inhuman, this is uncivilized act. If you don't speak up, if you don't raise, I consider that you are also supporting those brothers who have lost their mind. So with this, finally, I would like to once again, on behalf of the Lengmai Rongdi, we join the family, the immediate family members, and of course the community, and of course the Naga as a whole, on sharing our deepest condolences for the family and as a Naga for the whole. Thank you so much. Kupnalim.
Thank you, Major, for the wonderful message. And now, before we move on to the next, we would like to request all the participants. I think the volunteers might have given you some flower petals. So we'll have a floral tribute to the three fallen brothers. So I would request everyone to come and pay your respect by dropping your the flowers that have been provided to you. And we still have some more flowers here. So if in case you missed out, then you can take the privilege of giving your last tribute to our fallen brothers. And I'm going to start, and my co-host is going to start. So please come forward. Please come forward, everybody.
सोशल डिस्टेंस जितना चिपकना चिपक लिया अभी सोशल डिस्टेंसिंग का बात कर माया पुरोहित होता है ठीक है ना सुबह सुबह स्नान करने का प्रथा तो हराम को क्या करता जाके फिर उंगली डुबा देता बस खड़ी हो
Darkness deepens, Lord, with me abide. When all help violent comforts flee, help of the helpless, abide with me. Swift to its close, ebbs of love's little day. Earth's joys grow dim as glories pass away. Change and decay, in all I see. Oh, now changes not, abide with me. I fear no foe will be again to bless. Hills have no either, tears no bitterness. Where is death's sting? Where grave thy victory? I triumph still if thou abide with me. Hold out our cross before my closing night. Shine through the gloom, point me to the sky.
Once again, thank you so much for everyone for coming and participating in this floral tribute. Now we'll move on to the next speech. That will be a letter, a message that will be delivered to us from Apao Benjamin. And this message is from Jelangrong Baudi, Manipur, Nagaland, and Assam. They couldn't be here with us personally, so they have sent their message, which will be read out to us by Apao Benjamin. Please come and take the stage.
I would like to read out the message, solidarity message received from Jelangrong Baudi. Office of the Jelangrong Baudi, Assam, Manipur, and Nagaland. Motto: Unity and solidarity for glory. Dated 30 March 2021. Solidarity message. The Jelangrong Baudi, Assam, Manipur, Nagaland, extend our grateful thanks you to ZSUD and ZWAD for jointly organizing Candlelight Vigil at New Delhi, the national capital and the seat of our government, registering a strong resentment against the inhuman action of killing of our three brothers on 22nd March 2021 at Lamhai Namdi Village, Peren District, Nagaland. Three Zilongrong brothers, namely Let Iting Wongbe Haikam, Let Piram Hyang Lungbo, and Let Sikam Wongbo, were killed in a gruesome manner where their bodies were badly burned and mutilated. Uh, this act of perpetrators is considered as purely a crime against humanity and cannot let it go unpunished. At these hours of grief and pain, Zerionglong Baudi, Assam, Manipur, and Nagaland appeals Zerionglong brothers and sisters, wherever you are, to stay united to let justice prevail over evil forces. We should bring about changes in the state government's complacent attitude toward this barbaric killing by not booking the culprit, despite the killing happened right under the nose of Nagaland state security forces. Zerolong Baudi hope with clear conscience that the miscreant will soon be booked under the law of the land and justice prevail. Zerolong Baudi wish your candlelight vigil a success. Be strong and resilience. Zerong Long Ringte Lo. K. Akhang, President Zerong Long Baudi. This is the message we received from our Zerong Long Baudi. Thank you all.
Thank you, Apo Benjamin, for reading out the solidarity messages from Zalangong Baudi, Assam, Manipur, and Nagaland. Now we have again one more solidarity message that is from all Zalangong Student Union. That is on behalf of all Zalangong students. Okay, so this solidarity message is from all Zalangong Student Union, Assam, Manipur, and Nagaland. On behalf of them, I request our President, Smiling Bo Pame, to come and read out the message.
Good evening, everyone. I am reading a solidarity message from ZSU. Office of the All Zalangong Student Union, Assam, Manipur, Nagaland, 29 March 2021. Message. Kailum. The All Zalangong Student Union, Assam, Manipur, and Nagaland acknowledge the Zalangong Student Union Delhi and Zalangong Welfare Association Delhi for organizing a candlelight vigil in solidarity to the murder of 3 Zalangong fellow brothers at Lamhai Namdi village under Peren district. We Zalangong may be divided into different political geography, but our spirit of oneness and our strive for peaceful coexistence shall never be resilient with such act of cowards. Before long, and yet again, today the landmonger have barbarically murdered our fellow Zalangong brother. We shall not remain silent to this. Enough is enough. Here we, ZSU, call on all intellectuals to come out and stay based